guess I refused to spoon with you last night?
One day, so pros won't have to patch it in the fucking middle of their tournament.
Yeah, that would be a little silly. So that makes sense. I have gone ahead and taken us live right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to CSL 2017 to 2018 season. And this is very exciting. Just about 40 minutes ago, maybe, 7:07 has gone live to the live server. And we will be giving that a little bit of a talk here while we wait for the game to start. Looks like it's Georgia Tech versus XMLG 420 Yo Secret Team. Who is this? USC?
UCF.
UCF.
Let's see what that is.
Probably University of California. No, this would be an East Coast team because
we have casted so many California teams.
Central Florida.
Central Florida.
University of Central Florida. Georgia Tech versus Central Florida. GT versus the CF. All right. A little bit of info to give you here. Georgia Tech is currently undefeated, 3-0. They had a pretty good start this year, obviously undefeated, and they are typically one of the better Dota 2 teams that they have seen in CSL, that we've seen in CSL. Their roster is pretty stable as well, so they've played together with each other a lot.
Central Florida.
Yep. Central Florida, this is their first year with CSL. So far they've gone 2-1 and are looking like pretty good competitors here. That's a little bit about the teams, but the patch, Golgi, the patch. This is going to be the show stealer.
I'm so glad that we did the analysis yesterday because, things also don't catch us by surprise, but we know everything. Like, we went through everything. We didn't skip anything. We read every talent there is, so we're probably gonna forget half of it, but at least we are ready.
Yeah, and luckily we'll be able to have the draft, or we can just have the patch notes up during the draft, talk about changes to the hero, just to give you guys some ideas. Nothing super, well, nothing super crazy, a lot of crazy stuff. 5 new items. We haven't been able to peg yet the best use for all of them, with the exception of, like, Kaya.
Kaya is cool. Kaya seems like it has place, except it doesn't scale into a late game, but it's a great mid game item for spellcasters. And whatchamacallit, that disc, the disc that makes you invincible and deal no damage if you get hit. That one could be possible on certain like defensive supports, except for the fact it's super expensive.
I read it wrong. I thought it was when you're under 20% HP. No,
under
it's
80%.
when you're yeah.
Yeah,
well, I
so
thought it was
like
when you're missing
one
80%.
hit.
Yeah. Crazy.
So you definitely don't want it on carry because you will initiate and you will pop and you're like, well, I can't do shit. But yeah. No, there's a lot of really cool stuff here. The hammer, the Twilight Hammer or something like that. That one is the one that confused us the most. Because it has like a 3-second cast time and half a second before the meteor actually lands, so it's super hard to set up.
It does damage buildings, but
yeah, it does damage buildings.
It's a somewhat expensive item for a support who wants to damage building to get right. I
Yeah,
did.
because like carries want to right click during that 3 second time, and supports want to be the one to help with the push. But like you can spend that money on Yules, you can spend that money on the Force and Glimmer. They all seem better support items. So yeah,
I did. There is something that I didn't think about. So it has like 600 cast range, which doesn't seem like that much. It wouldn't be that good for high ground, but it does have a 300 radius, so you can technically clip a tower and do the full damage to it from about 900 units away.
Yeah.
So it's something that could be used in a high ground siege.
yeah. But the problem is you're going to be standing in front of their high ground for 3 seconds, stunning yourself. Right. That really opens you up for initiation. That's the problem I see with it, right? It's the item ability is sweet, but the fact that you stunned yourself for 3 seconds is a big problem. All right, here we go.
And then
First game of the patch.
Yeah, first game. Georgia Tech versus Secret, which is Central Florida. Some of the major changes, Bane. This is all on paper right now. There's been a lot of discussion about it. Now his Enfeeble steals damage rather than just reducing it. So he can right click during Nightmare. Only he.
Yeah,
can.
that's a talent he gets at level 10, which he lets him steal Enfeeble damage.
Yeah.
And yeah, Nightmare doesn't break. Bane gets banned. Okay. They don't want to deal with it. We don't know if it's OP or not, but like he's a carry now. And oh my god, and 6 bans. Forget about the 6 bans. This is crazy.
Oh right. The thing about the biggest problem, like it looks insane on paper, but this has been pointed out heavily. Enfeeble can only be cast on heroes now. No neutrals, no lane creeps or anything like that. So to get that damage, he has to steal it from a hero, and without that, he has no real farming potential.
Yeah, I mean that has always been Bane's biggest problem, right? He has 0 AOE clear. And I guess if you play him as carry, you probably build a Mjolnir. Oh, but then again, Mjolnir will break Nightmare if you attack people in Nightmare.
That's true.
Wow.
So he doesn't really have a way to farm, unless there were talks about Mask of Madness on him.
Makes sense to me.
But without the Enfeeble damage, it's still not the greatest thing in the world, right?
Yeah, so you got Enfeeble before you Mask of Madness, right?
Yeah. No, I mean for farming.
For farming, like, I mean, it's okay at best, I guess.
The other crazy thing about it is Enfeeble, it's a 20-second duration and a 12-second cooldown. So that means you can get, with talents and everything, you can get 440 stolen damage.
Is it 8-second cooldown? I believe it was 8-second cooldown.
Was it 8?
It was 8.
Yeah, that might be. Okay, yeah, it's 8. And then with Octarine, you can have 100% uptime on 3 Enfeebles. And the other crazy thing is you can cast it on the same hero multiple times. It refreshes the cooldown and gives you 2 steals, 2 Enfeeble amounts on it. We see Wisp is banned. Wisp had a pretty interesting talent, I believe it was, right? That Tether will add Ags upgrade.
Level 15 talent. Level 15. That is nuts.
Crazy, yeah.
Dude, that is way too early, I feel like. For free eggs on everyone on your team, basically. If you coordinate it properly.
Alright, Ogre Magi,
10 seconds
not
remaining.
not
Not
really,
much change, I
not much
believe.
change, but he's still a very stable hero. We didn't see him a lot last patch, but I don't have his old talents here. He looks mostly the same. 40 bloodless attack speed from a talent. Maybe they're looking to enable someone with him.
Alright, okay, so we can see by the draft, I mean, these guys are not used to the patch as everyone isn't. So they're just going to go for the last meta draft. It seems like this is all pretty familiar looking to us.
Yeah. And the heroes, these heroes that you saw, staples of the end of last patch, they didn't get like nerfed into the ground. Venomancer himself, he didn't get huge nerfs. In fact, he got a pretty interesting talent, I think, with the Venomous Gale thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, he was nerfed, right? His early game is a lot weaker, which is Venomancer's the reason why he's so strong. Yeah, and so he is going to be weaker now. But like as Ice Frog does, right? Ice Frog doesn't just nerf people into the ground. So Venomancer is going to play like slightly differently now with his new talents because it focuses on him being more of a spellcaster, yeah, rather than a right clicker, which is what he's played at in the last patch. So.
Yeah, it's a level 20 talent. Gale, when it impacts a hero, will summon 2 wards.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's like that big of a change. I think the -8 Venom skill cooldown is the big one
Yeah,
that I
that's
was
the real
focusing
big
on.
one.
Because that's a level 10.
Yeah.
Level 10 -8 Venom skill cooldown is nuts. Because that's his. That does so much damage.
Oh,
although
here's
Venom
something
skill
we haven't
can-
touched on, Golgi. The oh, okay, never mind. It actually looks the same. It said that the pick order was changed. That appears to not be the case in Captain's mode. That must just be the all pick.
Oh,
order.
right. People have been asking for that for a while.
Radiant team battle.
Because in like solo queue or whatever, the pick order made it so the team that was on second pick always had the advantage. Every single time. Invoker getting banned. It's so interesting because these people are picking the heroes we're used to playing in the last patch, but banning the heroes that got weirdly changed in this patch.
10 seconds remaining.
So Invoker getting banned. His Cataclysm, the
5 seconds
the
remaining.
test that Broken was doing in the server, I don't know if she clumped her heroes up too much, but a Cataclysm can never hit a stationary target.
Right.
But if there's anyone next to them, it will almost always hit them.
Yeah. So it's a very situational spell, but if you can group people up somehow in a tight little pack, then can do much. Or, have a way to like make people panic. Or here's the thing. Invoker Cataclysms blinks in and AoE Deafening Blasts.
Yeah. Toss it and then hit it, and then it's a pretty good chance that people are going to get shoved into
Yeah,
it.
you're still crossing your fingers though, but yeah. We'll see if that is ever going to be useful. Because I believe he has a good talent that he has to miss out on to take that Cataclysm.
Yeah, raw. It's going to be hard to set up, but if you look at the raw numbers, it turns 1 Sunstrike into 10 Sunstrikes.
Yeah, yeah. So like at the very least, there's a lot of value there, a lot of at least team fight panic value. Because for example, I think in a lot of ways, the new Dark Willow, she has a lot of spells that kind of causes people to panic, and kind of like that her thicket spell where she places a bunch of plants, and if you walk through and you get rooted, like that's a spell that you can easily just walk around if you know what you're doing. But in team fights, it's not as easy.
That's
Right.
exactly what I was going to bring up. And when I'm thinking of like something that can cause a lot of panic, the brambles, the thicket that she puts down. Not saying like these have to be just a single example. You cast a bunch of thickets and people are trying to move in and out of them. Here comes a bunch of Sunstrikes.
Yeah.
You're going to mess with some people pretty good. You're going to cause some
it's
very
just going
good
to cause confusion and like moment to moment. I mean, it's also going to be like high skill thing to play against it because you gotta keep your cool in a very like tight situation like that. So yeah, it'd be very interesting.
Radiant team pick.
So Earthshaker has had yes.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so Clinks is a guy who was changed heavily this patch, and with obviously, as you saw from his excitement, he is a Clinks main. He loves that hero, and he's been wanting Clinks to be buffed a lot. He wasn't exactly too happy with this. I mean, he was happy with the changes, but Ice Flock playing it safe nerfed Clinks a lot to make sure his new changes don't make him too OP.
Yeah, and the new changes I just am not sold on yet.
Pick.
To give you an idea, his strafe now instead of a flat amount for 10 seconds, it's still a flat amount, but for 3 seconds, it's about doubled on every level for 3 seconds over 10 instead of 10 seconds. And it provides projectile dodge. It's similar to TA's refraction,
10 seconds
but instead of
remaining.
damage instances, it's specifically projectiles. So
5 seconds
in this game, the Witch Doctor ward, each one of those would be a projectile. Something like a Laguna Blade is going to be a projectile. It will dodge one of them completely, negate the effects entirely, and then
so
remove
it's like
one
TA's
charge.
refraction, but it's like it also negates the effects. You don't get stunned from it either.
Yep, and it
10 seconds
it
remaining.
has 3 charges, and here's one of the parts I don't like about it, is that
5
if you
seconds remaining.
if you dodge 3 projectiles, it now goes away completely. It's kind of like Treant's Living Armor, where if it loses its stacks, you lose its benefits entirely. It just goes away.
Yeah.
It's the same way there.
Choose your hero.
Yeah. So, but the difference is, of course, the fact that it only lasts for 3 seconds. and you got 3 charge in the 3 seconds. And he gets a lot more attack speed, by the way. And we did the calculation. It's if you use it on cooldown, it's still the same amount of attack speed per second you get.
Yeah.
So he doesn't lose out on his overall DPS, but he gets a lot higher burst DPS at times, and also it gives him survivability. So if you're using it correctly, it's technically just a straight up strafe buff, because you don't lose damage over time, but you gain this defensive ability for you to be able to play like super clutch on Clinks.
Yeah. And one of the other things I did not like about it is that also means, and this happened, no, Death Pact went the opposite way, but Clinks now has to cast it. He has to use it more to get the same benefit, sort of.
That was an old change. Oh wait, no, the old change was made the Death Pact.
No, yeah, I'm talking about
super
strafe.
long.
I'm talking about strafe.
Strafe, right.
You have to over 10 seconds or over time, you have to cast it more times to get the same benefit that the 10 seconds worth did with the uptime. If you have the exact same uptime between the two skills over a period of time, then you're ending up casting it more. And Clinks can have a lot of mana problems, which is now compounded by Soul Ring mana regen has been removed. So that's probably not an item we're going to see on him anymore. I think a Solar Crest or a medallion is now going to be a lot more important, because I think a Aquila alone is not enough.
Yeah. All right, shall we introduce his players?
Let's introduce the players. Over on, what do we got the teams here? This must be CF on the Radiant. Yeah,
Yep.
and Georgia on the Dire. So it is going to be Squee playing our Templar Assassin. Lone Druid will be played by the Lone Dog. Oh, little synergy there with the name and the hero. Venomancer is going to be played by Freesham, and it looks like this Venomancer is going to be an off-lane Veno? No, he's a support Veno. Night Stalker played by Ban. Oh, never mind. He's got Mudkip and Ban here. I don't know what's going on with this lane. Okay, excuse me. Witch Doctor being
They're just
played
invading, I
by
think.
Purple Mudkip. Yep, and Night Stalker being played by Ban.
All right, over on the Dire side, we have a Bart 6669 on the Ember Spirit, Something Genuine on the Jakiro, Mushroom on the Ogre Magi, Down with the Syndrome on the Earthshaker, and finally Jake on the Clinks.
The battle begins.
So we do see some map changes here, especially in these rune spots, as you see. Yeah, things are looking a little bit less familiar, but it's not a drastic change like we had from when we got into the 7.0 patch. But like, we don't exactly know. Like, map changes are always hard to tell what they're going to do to the game until you really get to play the game. So we'll see how much it affects it.
So yeah, it looks like they extended out this mid-ramp a little bit. I think the river looks narrower there. That's to make sure that you can walk by this tower without getting hit, because before you couldn't do that on the Dire side.
It's the tower was placed here before.
Oh, so it's a full tower move. Actually was not expecting that.
The tower was placed here, so like the radius was like this, so you couldn't walk up here. That was like, it was made it really hard to rotate like that. But now since the tower is here, oh, that was a ping wheel. Interesting. Okay, so there's a tower here, so now the circle goes around like here. So there's some space here for you to move.
Oh yeah, let's play with the ping wheel. This is a new addition. So when you do your ping, you can click and hold, and you'll get this little wheel up, and you can put a little.
Ooh, enemy has vision.
Dire's middle tower is under
We need wards here. Oh, these are cool pings.
Yes, very nice. I like it.
Yeah, me too.
This will even be good for us as casters. Okay, when do the pings go away though?
Until someone places a ward there. No, it's going away.
There we go.
It makes sense for those pings to stick around. Bottom lane, lone dog on the lone druid is having a bit of a hard time sustaining this lane against the off lane Jakiro. Absolute beating on the hero.
It's weird. Yeah, it's interesting. The Earthshaker has been the one. He's been blocking lanes and stuff, but it's for the benefit of the Jakiro.
Wow, look at this rune spot on the off lane here. It's a lot easier for it to be stolen.
Yeah, and look how close the two runes are now.
Ooh, what a fisher.
Yeah,
Down with the syndrome, denying the way from Ban.
Yeah, and look at how close these runes are together.
Yeah. Yeah, so if it's a safe lane support, if you're not paying attention, the offlane can easily steal both. And yeah, same for the other side too. The runes are like right beside the stairwell.
That's fun. These pings are fun.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. When we place a little red circle on the ground.
Some of the other significant changes in this game. Klink's his level 25 ultimate. He now has the option of a
bot
split
lane.
shot. Or searing
Dog,
arrow. Oh yeah,
super
Lone
low.
Dog, very low. Down the syndrome though, they're not going to be able to go onto him, so he's okay for now.
Yeah. Mid lane now, Bart getting chased down, and he's going to get first blooded. Good rotation by Ban, even before the first knight happens.
Mushroom taking a bit of damage here. He could be in some trouble. Might go down, but Purple Mudkip, Jake is just beating him down. Searing Arrow's going to secure that kill. Now, looking for Freesham. Freesham gets the creep wave around, and Jake just wants to go to his lane and make sure he doesn't take too much tower damage.
Yeah, smart decision.
Courier, it will now automatically upgrade at 3 minutes. Both teams, there's automatically upgraded, so you don't have to purchase that anymore. It happens automatically. The Courier Haste has been removed and replaced by Shield. So instead of quicker items, or instead of a quick burst to escape, you can just shield it to escape. And it has, oh, Bart could be going down here. Squee, not going to be able to get him. Body blocked up a little bit. He managed to get out of there.
Surprised that, yeah, Squee, I mean, with that first blood is doing a lot better right now. But this is a lane that's stereotypically much better for the Ember Spirit because he has a lot of small damage instances, which TA can't deal with, obviously. TA now picks up Invis Rune. Bart didn't see that one. So he might be in danger. Squee can get
pinged. I think he knows. He just pinged
Oh,
right
he
here.
doesn't know.
He clearly did not.
Like, there's no way he knew, right?
We got a TP in from Earthshaker. He will go down. The Fissure stopped him up for a little bit, but they'll still get the kill. Now Squee, Ban just fighting up on the high ground. The Night Stalker trying to make sure that Squee is okay. Squee's going to be able to run back to the safe lane, and now trying to come around onto down with the Syndrome. Here it comes. One shot. They'll be able to kill that Earthshaker Mushroom. Now on the run. He's going to have to back up.
So something that was changed with TA is that Psionic Trap, if you let it cook for its full duration, it will now also damage the enemy with a damage over time if you explode it. So the full cook duration is 4 seconds, and after 4 seconds, I believe it does 50 damage at level 1? 100 damage at level 1.
Actually, yeah, not even a dot, it's just straight damage.
It is a damage. It is a dot.
Oh,
if you look at the patch notes, it says damage is applied over the duration of the slow.
Gotcha.
Not
so
immediately.
you can't stack a bunch of them then, probably.
Yeah, well, we don't know. Yeah, we don't know if the damage instances the debuffs stack or not.
Jake taking a lot of damage. He's trying to go into Freesham. One more shot, but he's not going to go down, and he's easily going to tick down to this Maledict with the Venomous Gale on him.
Great stick usage by Freesham. Now Moose is going to get kited to all hell. And Mudkip with that great healing. Decides to TP out.
Shakiro going down. Ogre. Yeah, he's going to be able to make the TP out. Shakiro did get killed here with a rotation from Night Stalker. That'll give Lone Dog a little bit more breathing room in his lane.
Wow. Okay, so Squee in the mid lane just dodged a Ember Spirit Searing Chains with a meld.
Oh, wow.
That was like super quick reaction. He almost went down, but used that meld to dodge that with no problem. Now, Bart might be in a little bit of trouble, but Squee is way too low to be able to commit. Oh, he's getting, oh, he got bottled from Ban. Ban dropped him off his bottle there. Looks like he was crowing it for him. Oh, remember, Bottle Crow can't work anymore.
That's what I was about to say.
You gotta get your supports to Bottle Crow for you.
Couriers can no longer recharge bottles.
So we see Ban being the courier in that situation. They find a war in the top lane.
So what's Jake got here? He's got the Aquila up. I'm curious to see what he's going to go for additional mana.
Yeah, Aquila seems like a smart choice. And also, they did reduce the amount of health and damage gain you get from the Death Pact. That was the nerf we're talking about. That it didn't seem really necessary because Clinks was a little bit weak last patch. But it's as we said, Ice Frog is just trying to play it safe. He doesn't want to overbuff the hero, and I'm sure we'll only see small adjustments on him to bring him to full balance as the patch goes on, and we'll figure out how to play him properly.
Too small, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Poor guy has eaten side nerfs to items and stuff like that, and side chop changes for the last like 6 patches in a row.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that we don't see. A lot of times we fail to recognize. I mean, I'm sure, like, Ice Frog recognizes that is that sometimes when you nerf an item or nerf like certain things around the map, you're inadvertently nerfing some of the heroes. Like, for example, the Soul Ring change hurts Clinks, but it benefits almost everyone else who gets Soul Ring. The Soul Ring now gives strength instead of mana regen.
And even more HP regen. From 0.5 to 2, I think, right?
Because health regen works differently now, right?
Yeah, correct.
Because health regen is now, let's see. Yeah, so health regen has been decreased from 3 to 2. With how the calculation works with strength, like, it might calculate into being more, because strength now amplifies the amount of health gain you get.
Yep. Yeah, they changed how strength gives you health regen.
Yeah.
And
so
it's
since
called health amplification, killing Jakiro there under the tier 1, once
mid
again
lane
getting jumped up. Sweet.
Squee getting
chased
rammed
by
down.
Bart. He's actually making it out of here. Got a TP in from Ban.
They're gonna blow the
He's
trap.
waiting on a
Blow the
remnant.
trap.
Clinks is going to go down here on the top lane. Venomancer will finally go down himself. But once again, Jake's just getting beat up by this Maledict combo.
Yeah. So we see Squee is actually struggling a lot here in the mid lane. Even with that early game advantage, the hero just can't do much. And even Squee went for the correct skill build too. Usually you see TAs level up the refraction, but that's obviously useless against the Ember Spirit. So she went for the meld first. But even then it hurts. Oh, and we see the fortification working on creeps here too. That's another big change that happened.
TA got a pretty interesting level 25 talent. Psyblade Spill, the things behind Psyblade that can hit. Oh, they're going to use a Poison Nova here on Venomancer, but Clinks is firing away. Oh, he's going to get another Maledict to the face, and he's going to take down to this easy. They're going to be able to pick up 2 kills with that. Beautiful Death Ward usage from Witch Doctor. Quick response as well. The Paralyzing Cask means Freesham's going to get out of there.
Yeah. Bart wants to get something out of this.
Not finding anyone so far. Remnant forward, it's onto him. Maledict onto Bart once again now. He's trying to go onto Freesham. Freesham's taking down, but he's got a Venomous Gale and Maledict onto him. Bart could be taking a lot of damage here. He's absorbing quite a bit of it with the Flame Guard. And the final tick, actually, he didn't even pop the Flame Guard with it. Not enough damage. Venomancer goes down as well.
Yeah, so he takes like no damage from that. I mean, that's the power of Ember Spirit there with the Flame Guard.
Oh, because Maledict can't get increased.
Yeah.
The damage won't get increased if it's all getting blocked on Maledict. That's actually really, really good. Maledict is almost worthless against him, unless you can really, really pop it with something big.
Yeah, even if you hit him with the physical damage, since Maledict is going to pop in the magical damage, Ember Spirit can play it very safe there. And also, Ember Spirit did get the level 10 change of getting the Flame Guard absorption in level 10. So he could even take that if he wants extra insurance, which I think he would against a Venomancer. Witch Doctor is coming out here. But yeah, this safe lane is a disaster currently for Georgia.
And Clinks is running around. He's going to be trying to gank here. He's picked himself up some booties, so we don't get to see what his next item build is going to be yet. Run around Invis. He's already death packed, so he wants to get a kill out of this. He's going to find Lone Druid. Has to be careful he doesn't get roared here.
Yeah, there's a lot of his friends
going
around,
down?
though.
No, oh, she's just jungling.
They're just waiting for the Earthshaker bot lane. Lone Druid going to get
Jake
gone on.
on the
Here's
Lone
a
Dog.
fear.
He's going to get feared up right away, and now, with that fear, his attack speed is basically gone. He will still get the kill onto the Lone Druid with the help of Jakiro, or Jakiro will get it with the help of him, but...
Yeah, very well executed gank from Georgia. They forced out the fear early, so they can easily get the stun up without being able to worry too much.
I guess, yeah, that's another downside of the strafe changes, is that with such a shorter time, it's a lot easier to CC him during the duration, and then it's entirely wasted.
Radiant's
I think you're being overly negative. Remember, it's the same attack speed over long duration, because before, if you couldn't attack during strafe, Bond on the mid lane getting really low. But if you couldn't attack during strafe, you are down for a very long time because the cooldown was much longer. Since the cooldown is much shorter, if you wasted a strafe duration, you'll be able to get up a lot sooner. Right? Because it's still the same attack speed per second.
Yeah. It's not. Let me take a look here. The cooldown's still pretty long, and I think you're going to be reliably getting maybe two off in a fight. I guess 3 if you have it at the start. Oh. Jakira's going to go down on the bottom. Bart gets feared away from the mid as he tries to jump in onto Lone Dog. Bot tower's going to go down. Denied.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Alright, but yeah, so I guess...
But they just successfully ganked dude with the strafe. I don't know why you're complaining about the strafe. I think it was very good. They got like 2 seconds of strafe off, got feared, lost the last 1 second. I think that was really good. Right?
Yeah. It's, I don't know.
Like, if it didn't work out, then I think you can criticize, but it worked out there. Right? So
well, that
pick up the
specific
soul
situation isn't where I was criticizing. The one on the bottom where the lone druid, where he was going on the lone druid, or are you still talking about that lone druid gank in the bottom?
The lone druid, yeah, they got the gank. It was a successful gank, and they used the strafe.
But he only got like a second of strafe off. Less than that even. He almost didn't get any.
Yeah, and it's not like if he with the old strafe he got any more off.
Well, he would have had.
Because he was feared away and Jakiro took the kill. Right? Because like that meant that the early attack speed that he got before the CC happened was better because he got more burst damage off, so he can set up the gank for the Jakiro to happen. Before with the old strafe, since he wouldn't have the upfront attack speed, he wouldn't have been able to get that gank. Right? He has a lot more burst damage now.
I did play him on the test server, and it's really hard to feel. Like the numbers are all there, but it's hard to feel on the hero. So. Oh, Jake is going to get a bit of a scale. He's just going to go invisible. They've got the dust now. Immediately going to void him up. Silence. Here comes the TP. He's going to make it out. And he will not tick down in the fountain. Lucky boy. Yeah, they used that void a little bit too soon.
In the Radiant jungle, there was an observer ward on the stack that TA was making. So they ganked her while she was taking it. And then they're going to even take the Ancients right afterwards, so that really hurts them, because on top of killing the TA who was doing it, they're even stealing all of our hard work. Mudkip now in the mid lane kind of getting gone on, but going to be okay. So this is probably the biggest play that Georgia is making so far. This actually gives them a pretty good swing here and taking a lot from the TA. Bart is the one that really succeeded in all their lanes. I would say they lost all the other lanes here. Especially their safe lane really didn't go the way they wanted it to. But the fact that TA got off to such a terrible start could be something they could leverage to be able to stabilize and get Clinks into the game.
Oh, I just realized something. If Strafe is up, Witch Doctor can solo coconut him.
What?
So it's really weird. Someone posted it today. Lich's ultimate, his Chain Frost. If Clinks has his strafe up, what'll happen is it will impact, but however it's coded, the damage negation is treated as a separate unit, and it will then bounce to Clinks and continue to bounce to Clinks as long as he has strafe stacks up.
Right.
So it will remove his strafe instantly, just about instantly, and then do damage to him. And so the coconut can do the same thing, as if he's got the strafe up, they throw it on him. If he's the only target there, if he's solo, it'll just bounce to him, remove all the strafe, and then stun him at the end.
Yeah, stun him once. Yeah, that's definitely coded wrong. I can't imagine that they meant for it to be coded that way. Because it is not a separate unit. So probably going to see the hotfix pretty soon.
Yeah, wonky coding. There's really only 2 interactions I can think of that would bounce like that. Maybe Fade Bolt?
Fade Bolt doesn't target the same target twice.
That's right. Well, yeah, that's true.
Huge fight.
Yep, big fight coming out. Only one gonna go down so far. It was the Night Stalker, got caught up by that Ice Path. Squee now wanting to go aggressive. They've got Free Sham here. He's dropping some wards in the back, getting a few hits on people. Another Ice Path. It is gonna catch Squee this time. They get Ignite out onto Squee, and no Dual Breath is not gonna hit. Fissure will block 2 of them off. Here comes the Gale. It's into 3 now. Ignite onto Venomancer. The Blast. Fire Blast. And both teams throwing a ton of damage in here. Lots of spells, but no one really that close to going down. Squee did have to back out.
Wasted Echo Slam there. Down with the Syndrome. Tried to Echo Slam Venomancer through his own Fissure, but unfortunately Frisham was a little bit too far. He did take the Echo damage, but remember Echo Slam doesn't have initial damage anymore, so it does a lot less damage unless you actually hit a lot of heroes with it.
Yeah, so the default Echo Slam is now the old Ags Earthshaker ult, where it does extra bounces on heroes. It makes extra echoes on heroes, and then brand new, yeah, the initial damage, as you said, has been removed. So you gotta hit multiple things in order to do damage with it.
Yeah, it was the big nerf that came out for Earthshaker. This, which really does hurt his solo kill potential, which is the reason why people pick Earthshaker, is because he has such an ability to just solo kill heroes, just as long as he has Echo Slam up, even if it's their fully farmed carry. If it's some specific heroes without defensive items, he can easily take them down. Another Invis Room for Squee. He might look to go on Bard here. Oh, but actually they see the PA. She walks into Sentry Ward range.
She's gonna root it up now. Ogre Magi just goes away. Coconut Bounce is gonna keep him in place. They get a root out onto TA, but they're focusing on the tower. It's really what they want here. Ice Path not gonna latch on anyone and just going to give a little bit of area denial. That will give them some space to retreat, and hopefully they should be able to make it out of here just fine. Radiant team is just, this is California, or sorry, Florida. Florida's just grouping up, pushing his 5 right now. This is going to give Clinks a lot of space to push, though. Clinks loves space like this. Yeah. He has gone into the Medallion and Soul Ring. This is one thing I don't like about this change, is that for all these strafes, he kind of needs most of these. Medallion is still really good on him, but doesn't this feel like a lot of low-level items delaying out something like a Deso?
I mean, this has always been Clinks' problem, right? And we were talking about, I mean, you love to talk about the familiarity between Clinks and Windrunner. They're both heroes that are weak because they have to have so much setup items to make their hero good.
Yep.
It's like, you would love to go Deso first, but you need all these setup items. You would love to go, like, Mjolnir first and Windrunner, but you need, like, eggs and stuff like that. So it's just a really awkward place with these heroes.
Yeah, and items that could help him, like an Atos, are just no good on him.
And Roshan now, huge fight.
Yep, they're gonna get the Aegis with no losses, really.
Yeah, they're going to disengage.
Showing up a little too late to the fight. They're pinging out the shrine. They expect maybe they're going there, but they're not gonna find anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Clinks, he needs the extra minus armor from both the Medallion and the Deso really to burst people fast enough. Alternatively, if he had something that could keep them in place or keep them around long enough, then he wouldn't need as much burst and he could just do it over a longer period of time. Because even 3 seconds, I guess here's a big positive to the strafe change.
Ooh, Bart is in huge trouble. He doesn't have a Remnant. Wow, he was farming all the way at tier 2. He didn't have a Remnant. I thought he totally did. He just going to get Venomous scaled up, and yeah, this like -8 second cooldown Venomous Gale is nuts. Oh, remember, it's a 15-second duration, and it's a 10-second cooldown now. So he has 150% uptime on Venomous Gale.
Wow, that's quite good.
Yeah.
But as I was saying about Clinks, I guess I will say to the credit of the new strafe is that you're never gonna sit there and be able to attack someone for 10 seconds.
Mushroom is going to get chased down by the team here, and
Jake actually got dusted, but he's hanging out in the trees. They didn't see that he got dusted. They had a feeling he was around. They will dust him accurately, but he does make it away.
Yeah, they saw him earlier. They saw him earlier, so they want to dust him. But Jake, with good positioning, going to that juke spot before the gank fully initiates. The Ogre Magina is lucky. I do really like what Georgia Tech is doing here with, sorry, not Georgia Tech, the Central Florida is doing here with their timing on their Radiance. on that lone druid. They're really taking advantage of it. They got around 18 minutes and they've been taking fights and towers left, right, and center. Really awkward skirmishes here around the mid lane.
Link's just farming up once again. Hasn't taken a tier 1 yet. TA gonna come up here looking to go onto him. Does she have? She doesn't have any sort of detection, so he's just gonna be able to invis away. Skelly walk, spooky, scary Skelly walk away.
Yeah, unfortunately for Clinks, that he got up to obviously a very terrible safe lane there. Oh, look at all the creeps are sleeping in the jungle. That's cool. But yeah, he needs a lot of time to farm right now. I don't think can't fight until he picks up his Desolator, and also until he gets some levels. And he's getting finally good enough levels that he is maxing all of his skills now too. And another thing about Clinks, there's a Desolator, so I think he can fight now. Another problem with Clinks is the fact that he also requires high levels on all of his skills to be effective, right?
Yeah. The skeleton walk is really, really low. Well, technically it's 100% uptime at level 1, but it's not very good. Here he goes. He's start fighting. Echo Slam is going to hit onto 1. Now Clinks, he's got a Maledict on him, and he's fighting away, just right-clicking into Venomancer, finally going down. He's taking quite a lot of damage from the Maledict. One more tick, but he will stay alive. He's got the dots on him, and he's going to burn down. Bart having to get out as well. Dots on him are just blowing him up. Makes it to the shrine, and he's going to be able to continue on alive. Jakiro will go down for the TA, and TA is here in the lane. It is going to be 3-for-3 trade. Advantage
Honestly,
going.
Not awful at all for Georgia Tech there.
Advantage. The gold went heavily to them, about 1,000 gold.
When you're behind, taking an even trade is great. Of course, the downside is the fact that they did lose their safe laner. Unfortunately, Clinks was at the front of the fight, which meant he ate the Venomous Scale, Poison Nova, and Maledict. And I don't think there's any hero in the game that can survive that without BKB. Squee now going to lose her BKB.
That's weird.
It was expiring in 1 minute anyways.
It looked like she disjointed that ignite, but it actually did the damage to her. Now she's going to get rooted up, trying to fight into the damage. Ember Spirit just had to leave. Lone Dog going to use the bear to get a fear out, and that should be enough to get Squee out of there safely.
So we see Bart is going for this. Oh, they're going to find Squee again, but Bart, you don't want to fight that maybe.
There we go. Earthshaker going to jump on and is able to get all the skills onto him. Now Mushroom is getting slowed up, has the veil on him. All the dots in the world. Here comes the root. Ogre Magi taken down. Spirit Rare. There is now a talent on Lone Druid for 0 Entangle cooldown. That is a level 25 talent. Clinks is finally ready to go try and take this tier 1, and he successfully does. It'll be a trade for a tier 2. But Bart is also pushing out the mid lane.
So the big change that came out to Ember Spirit is the fact that he did lose a level 10 spell amp buff. So I think this Battle Fury Ember Spirit might be back. Because there just is no good. The reason why Magic Ember was in was because if you remember at the beginning of 7.0, he had 15% spell amp at level 10.
Insane.
Yeah, so they obviously took that out, lowered it down to 10, but Ember Spirit was still super powerful just throughout the entirety of since 7.0 has been released. So finally they thought 10% spell amp at level 10 is ridiculous. Why the hell do we have that so early? Now it's level 20. So yeah, Ember Spirit are going for more of this Battle Fury build now, I'm assuming, because before that spell amp was so good for farming and stuff like that, but now you need some other way to farm.
Florida gonna
Battle
smoke
Fury
out.
seems pretty good.
Darkness is used. They're trying to find someone up. They're just not going to connect onto anyone right now. Oh, Clinks has to be careful. He's invisible, but it's going to break the smoke. They're going to know that he's here. They don't have any dust on them?
Oh
there
my
we go.
God.
Lone Dog has it.
They do have it, but I would have popped it if I were them, but they just they didn't think he was there exactly. They knew someone was around, but maybe not on top of them. Jake that was a little bit too ballsy for my liking. Oh, Jake now getting slowed up.
He's got the level 4 skeleton walk, so it's up already. Yeah, and then just to give some context to that spell amp we were talking about on Ember Spirit, when Aether Lens came out, it had 10% spell amp, right? And they said, wow,
Yeah.
this is too powerful, and they reduced it to 8%.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower is
But they gave Ember Spirit 15% spell amp. I don't know what they were
15%
thinking.
for 0 gold. And the other talent was okay. It
like
wasn't like a
huge
huge toss-up. Yeah. Fissure
Spirit
onto
Bear.
the Spirit Bear. He's not going to be able to get forced after the low ground, so he is taken out. They're going to have to resummon, so if this bear goes down again, no bear for a
Yeah,
minute.
Musha, I'm
2
going to be
minutes.
happy with that gold. They have really good high ground defense. That's one thing that Georgia Tech has going for them. They have the Ember Spirit to push out all the lanes safely. They got Ogre Magi for the Bloodlust on the tower, and obviously Jakiro, great AoEs coming out to prevent enemies from pushing too fast.
Yeah, and by the time Clinks, if they can stall this out, once Clinks gets his level 25, his talents are a little different now. He gets a Searing Arrow multi-shot, which is situationally good, I think.
Yeah.
4-second strafe stack and duration is way
That is
better.
nuts.
It's
Yeah,
more
it's
than
super
doubles.
good.
It more than doubles your strafe time. Oh, they're gonna. Fight's gonna be breaking out. Dual breath and hits into down with the Syndrome. He already used the Echo Slam. Fissure's gonna connect onto 2, but he is poisoned up right now. They're gonna be calling the retreat. They pot the darkness to try and give themselves a little bit of time. Both teams actually scared out of here.
Yeah, they didn't want to fight into the Poison Nova, and I think it's smart. Look how much damage Bart is taking. This is an Ember Spirit with a Flame Guard that had to run away like that. But they know the Venomous skill, so their Poison Nova is down for the next 100 seconds, so maybe they could make something happen here. So yeah, we see like Venomancer is a straight up spellcaster. Look at his item build right now, and you know the Gale cooldown. He takes a cast range on top of that.
got
So
a
yeah,
Veil
he plays
build.
completely different. Yeah, and
I
he
mean,
got the
he'd
Veil
always
build.
get the Veil, or usually got the Veil.
Yeah, Veil wasn't always like must get on the hero, just way too good. The armor is nice, health regen is nice, and of course the magic amp is just way too good to pass up on. They catch the bear again. This is exactly what they want to do. And Clinks is putting in the damage. Oh, he's trapped. Oh, no one gets the last hit. The tower gets the last
yeah.
hit. But I mean, they got the objective accomplished. The push has been staved off for now, and this is exactly what the Georgia Tech needs to be doing right now, because I do believe they have a stronger late game team. Just because how the interaction works between Ember Spirit and TA. Because the refraction charges don't matter too much in the late game against the Ember.
Once again, going to claim themselves a Roshan, and Georgia does not look like they're in a position to do anything about this. Bart, however, doing his Ember thing, pushing out lanes and claiming some towers.
Yeah. And another thing about this return of this physical Ember is the fact that he actually pushes towers now. The guy can actually push towers if you don't contest them. But there's a second Roshan going out. She's going to be on Free Shan, Aegis on Squee. And remember, the third Roshan, we're going to be seeing a Refresher Warp drop from that Roshan. Only one use though. Bart getting contested finally by the
Oh,
lone
his
druid.
Remnant just ran out. He had a Remnant way back, and it ran out as he was fighting there, so he could have been in some trouble, but he will be able to make it out just fine.
Yeah, he should pay attention to that a little better. That's how he got caught earlier in the tier 2. If he got like, you know, attacked by Freeshan there from behind again with Venomous Scale, and of course his Remnant, the new Remnant he plays out, like crawls forward. So he will never be able to actually get out. So just kind of playing a little bit too risky there. But, you know, when you're behind like this, maybe you need to take some risks. And he did get a little bit of damage in tier 3. So. And a BKB finally on that Clinks. This should help him in the fight a lot, but still quite behind. He is still behind the offlaner on the other side. He is behind the Veno, TA, and the Lone Druid on the other side. So still got a lot catching up to do.
And this is one of the things I talked about with the Death Pact change. Now he holds the Death Pact thing buff for longer, which was good because it always felt weird. Like it felt like you were constantly dodging around looking for a creep. The big downside of that is you can't just immediately eat a big creep, and then you know you've got the gold from it. They're gonna be fighting.
Yeah.
They found Templar Assassin ignite into a fire blast. Now Bard is trying to fight. They'll root him up, but taking quite a bit of damage. They're gonna drop the Macro Pyre, but it's just zoning. Jake now ready to fight into the Venomancer. Venomancer ate a cheese, it looks like, and is back up on top. Jake trying to fight into Templar Assassin. TA pops the BKB, but Jake doesn't care about that. They'll be able to pop the Aegis, but now down with the Syndrome. He's got Maledict up. He could be popping here. Yeah, one more is all it's going to take to pop him with that Maledict.
Oh, Mushroom doesn't have a TP. Rest in peace, Ogre. Or is he okay? No, he's okay. He's actually okay.
They're making it up to the high ground. Jake is ready to fight here. He already used his BKB, so he's got to be careful. They use the dual breath, and they're going to have to fortify up, buy themselves a little bit of time. Macropyre up in 20, so they need to keep the creeps off of here. Doing the best they can. Silence up onto Ember Spirit. They got the tier 3 Spirit Breaker. Spirit Bear is just putting the siege damage into this. Remember, he has crazy good siege damage. Mushroom? What's he doing on the low ground here? He tried to force staff up to the high ground. He's going to get caught right in the middle of all the Florida heroes. Jake is just fighting away. He's going to get a kill onto the bear, but this could cost him his life. He is dusted up right now. He gets feared back. They're not going to go for the kill. Melee barracks finally going down, and that'll be the first barracks claimed. Spirit Bear doing some work there. God, he's hitting hard.
Yeah, great
That's
persistence.
demolish damage.
Yeah, great persistence by Central Florida there. They failed some of the high ground stuff, but they didn't lose anything of it. All they lost is Bear because they played it safe, and eventually something's got to give, and they farmed effectively. They're constantly increasing their net worth gain, even if they're not getting the high ground. They're 16k now, and now just too much with that earlier fight in the Roshan, forcing out some heroes' deaths, and that was enough. Oh, look at this! Aeon Disc on Lone Dog, on Lone Druid. That's like perfect item for Lone Druid.
Yeah.
We didn't think about it, but that's
really,
great.
Yeah, what's really cool is I don't see a lot of Lone Druid, and I definitely haven't watched a lot of Lone Druid. This Mask of Madness on the bear is that had to have come into prevalence, you know, with the Mask of Madness changes of the last few patches ago, right?
Yeah, I mean it's been popular for
a
few. Yeah, it's been popular for the last few patches.
I guess I just haven't been paying attention to specifically the bear items.
Yeah, I mean Lone Druid has been a niche pick at best, but yeah, Mask of Madness has always been great on Spirit Bear ever since Spirit Bear got mana. Because there was a time where he didn't have a good mana pool, but now he has a pretty decent mana pool, so he can actually sustain using Mask of Madness.
So Aeon Disc, it's also a really good pickup when you're fighting against a hero like Clinks, because his burst is always going to be higher than your burst.
Yeah. And of course, Lone Druid himself doesn't do any damage if you go for the bear build, which they usually do. And all you need to do is make sure you stay safe, so because if you die, so does your bear.
Yeah, so I guess Aeon Burst, if you're a hero that does consistent damage over time, or not damage over time, but just consistent damage, then Aeon Disc I think is a good pickup. If you're worried about getting bursted, that's the main pickup I see for it. Is if they have huge nukers, then you can survive, and then survive their burst. And if they've blown their load, doing no damage to you, so that makes it pretty good. I get the sense of this item now.
No, I still wouldn't pick it up on damage dealers. Lone Druid picks up because he's not a damage dealer, right? His bear is a damage dealer, and that's why it works. Because if you get it on damage dealer because you're scared of enemy bursters, then you can never initiate, right? Because you initiate in a fight, you get hit once, and then it pops, and now you can't do any damage for the next 2.5 seconds, right? And then the person you're ganking gets away, right? That's a huge risk you're playing, but there's no risk if you're a Lone Druid. Because all you need to do is make sure you stay alive on your hero. Oh, Coconut at the fountain. That's going to be stunning up 2 heroes in the base. Bart is going for a Manta style next, just to be able to debuff some of this problem. Of course, Venomancer, Venom Scale can now be dispelled, so that Manta style will do work against it. Bart is trying to push here, but TA is coming. Oh my god, and the Bloodthorn is going to be enough to take him down. Those guaranteed crits.
Revealed.
I'm pretty sure he
they
saw.
Knew that he had it.
No, he saw TA TPing in, but he must have not known that she had a Bloodthorn.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Jake does pick up a kill there.
Is inside their base. I didn't see what was happening there. He must have. I don't know. He was
Been
right
forced
here.
up?
He was
He might
right.
have been forced up by down with the syndrome with the force staff. There goes the Echo. Only hits one though. He's not going to do any damage there.
He's got to
and he
back
might
up. They
die.
glimmer cape him up. That's going to remove a bunch of this damage. But he goes aggressive. He's trying to get one more enchant totem off. So it looks like, yeah, he definitely was going down to that.
And remember, there are no shrines in base anymore. Squee. Oh, nice blink.
They're getting pulled in 2 separate directions, though.
Yeah.
They're going to have to deal with the top now. And as they're moving, here comes Squee to go get the bottom buildings once again.
Yeah, they just can't win. They're going to have to lose something. And Jake still not pulling enough damage to be able to take down the Night Stalker with that Black King bar. Well, Bart is up now. See if he can do anything. He'll be able to clear out these creeps, but net worth is getting increasingly insurmountable here. 23k difference going towards Central Florida here.
Could be used on
from the
Squee.
bot lane.
He's just trying to get that blink off, and he makes it out of there.
Oh, he gets hit. Oh, Bart might not want to fight this. Oh, he's going to go down again. Huge misplay. Still doesn't have the Manta style to be able to take that Bloodthorn off of himself. And yeah, that was awkward. I think as soon as he blinked, he was like, oh god, I fucked up. Because, I mean, he had his teammates behind him before, but of course, not a lot of heroes can keep up with Ember's speed. And Freeshawn getting up the Aegon Scepter, which is actually pretty insane with his level 20 talent, which is going to get him 1 level. He gets plus 6 seconds Poison Nova duration, which is obscene. Because you have Scepter damage of 110, and it lasts for 16 seconds. It gets 6 seconds on top of that, 21 seconds of 110 damage per second. Holy crap. Yeah, the Scepter is so much better on Venom now with that level 20 talent. Scepter has been kind of the out of the meta for a little bit, but with this change, I won't be surprised if it makes a comeback. They want to get on Squee. Do they have detection? And they also need to be able to take off these reflection charges. They might find Mudkip instead. No, Jake wants to play it safe. So, right now, Roshan is up. Roshan now has the Refresher Shard. That's what it's called.
This is going to be the 3rd Roshan.
So I'm assuming the Refresher Shard is probably going to go on the Venomancer here. He has picked up the Aegon Scepter, so it'll be perfect for him. No, it's going to go on the Lone Druid. Okay, so he has 3 bears now. There's nothing wrong. No, they're going to cheese Freeshawn. Okay, so they're going with the triple bear strategy. I'm on board. They can kill 1 bear. How about 2? How about 3?
Well, they have to be careful about this. Because if we've seen anything before, from before, Georgia knows how to handle the bear. He's going to be able to Force Staff out and immediately gets glimmered up. Oh,
yeah, but
oh, never mind.
They took the first tier 3. Oh no, Squeeze gonna jump in. Huge amount of damage to Shaker. It's gonna be okay, but actually
Stunned up. Now Jake is gonna be able to start. Jake not using the strafe. He's holding it for the respawn. See if they can get him again. Macro Pyre Ice Path is not used. They are gonna be able to hit a couple times onto Squee. Jake is ready to fire. Getting dodges. Oh no, the refraction up means that Squee's not able to get the. Jake can't get the kill on Squee. They're fighting up. Ember Spirit's already gone down. Squee's gonna kill the Ogre Magi, and Jake, he waited a little bit too long. The refraction was back up. He wasn't able to do any damage to Squee. Now, good game is gonna be called, and that'll be the end of it.
Plays there by Squee. Like he juked it out for so long. Great Blink Dagger usage. And he was able to stall it out for long enough to get his meld up, hide in the meld, and they didn't have any detection. That was long enough to get the refraction up, and getting that kill on TA was what they needed to at least start the comeback there, but Squee completely outplaying them. What? I got an item.
I got an
for
item
what?
too. What'd you get? I got a humble drifter hat.
Me too. Customer support granted you an
Customer
item.
support, yeah. What?
What is this? I'm gonna check the item description. Doesn't have any description. Preview full set. It's part of a full set. No, that's part of that, like, the row set.
We got a random drop for casting?
No way. I used to own that. Because that's a set I have on PL. What? So I lost the item. So there must have been a bug where that item got deleted off of everyone's inventory. And they're just returning it back. Because I know I had that item because that's the set I wear on PL. And I don't have 2 copies of it. I only have 1 copy of it now. Weird.
Oh. So it got like... It had some bug where it was removed or something? Or people
Yeah.
lost it? That's really weird. That's so weird. Alright, let's talk about that game goal, G.
I mean, I think it was just the lane, right? The Central Florida won every lane, and I think this patch, even more than before, promotes early game because I think as far as constantly moving towards this direction of not wanting the game to go on for too long, right? Especially if you think about the Roshan change too. The third Roshan is a huge advantage.
Yeah.
Right? Like there was a time where third Roshan was a cheese Roshan. That was the first cheese Roshan. But now third Roshan gives you a refresher on top of the cheese and the Aegis, right? Having the early game map control to be able to take early Roshans and additional objectives down the line is just so good.
Apparently there's another mini patch.
Yeah, looks like we need to relaunch. But yeah, like just the fact also Clinks is a hero that we're talking about. He needs so much early game item to get him levels on his strafe. He needs level on his skeleton walk to be able to roam properly and backdoor properly. And he obviously needs points into flaming arrows. He's the type of hero that needs a lot of levels early.
Not just
But he wasn't able to get that.
Yeah, and he really needs the level 15 as well. That 30 additional flaming searing arrow damage is you feel it so much.
Yeah.
It really amps him, and that's when you really be able to start picking the crap out of people. And at the point, I remember seeing him at level 14 when a lot of the push started coming from Florida. So he was without that and in kind of a bad spot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Clinks is definitely one of those heroes that I think really needs to win the early game. The hero can't do much if he gets off to a bad start. Because he needs to split push, that's where he shines. He needs to backdoor towers and things like that, but you can't do that without items. You're too squishy to just straight up man fight enemy heroes, and you know. Yeah, I think they didn't tri-lane him. I feel like they should have tri-laned him. They instead focused the Earthshaker to hurt the Lone Druid in the safe lane. But the thing was, Lone Druid got farmed regardless. So that wasn't really a big deal. So I think maybe if they kept the Earthshaker in that aggressive dual off lane that they had with the Witch Doctor and Venomancer, maybe the Clinks could have a shot. But yeah.
And I think I didn't catch a lot of the action that was going on there, but it seemed like he was just too confident and too aggressive during his early that was letting him, you know, Maledict is not an easy skill to get onto someone. You have to get very close in it, and it is typically pretty punishable. So the fact that they were able to get Maledict into a Gale, like right on top of each other.
Nuts.
Yeah, oh, that's so much damage.
So yeah, no, I definitely think they played the lanes wrong. Clinks, you gotta give him all the help he can get. He is a decently strong laner, but like not like a dominator. And even if he was like an Ursa, that you still wanna like help Ursa to like even dominate his lane more, because it's one of those heroes that really skyrockets and snowballs into the mid game if he can get that Desolator early, if he can get the Orchid Malevolence and no support is safe around the map, or that since he's so fad that he can go push towers by himself, and if anyone comes to contest them by themselves, he can just turn around and kill them. So he forces at least 2 rotations to come to deal with them, and then you got Ember that's pushing on the other side of the map, and I got the draft they had going.
Yeah.
Ember and the Klink's draft. But it just, when the lanes don't work out, you know, it just doesn't go your way. And also the fact that Ember struggled in the mid lane against the TA, although he kind of brought it back, but he needed to win harder in that lane too, as the only lane that kind of came out positive. But he wasn't able to do that because he got ganked so much by the Night Stalker. So yeah.
Yeah, and he suffers from having to. He suffers. You can't tri lane with him because, as we talked about, he's gonna suffer greatly from the XP losses, and he needs help. He needs a lot of help, but he can't get too much help. Is basically the double-edged sword there.
Yeah, I mean, he's gotta get help, and his support's gotta make sure that they don't sap any XP, right? They gotta zone the offlaners and stand in that awkward distance when the supports don't get any XP. So you have to really sacrifice the supports to be able to get Klinks anywhere he needs. It's awkward. It's an awkward lane. But if you can get kills, that's fine. If you can get kills, that's how you get ahead in that lane, right? So
yeah.
All right, the lobby's up.
Lobby is up. All right, it'll be a little bit of time while we get this lobby ready to go. A lot of people, or a few people, are probably still patching. So I'm gonna send you guys to the wait screen, and we'll rejoin you here in a little bit, just before the game starts.